in terms of the cultural arts. So you have Juneteenth. What other types of events do we have?
We have a film festival, international film festival. We get people from Germany, Japan, Portugal, Mexico. Those are mainly the places that we've seen people actually travel to our city from. We have, I mean, they travel from other parts of the US, but internationally, those are the main countries that we get visitors from. We have the Filipino Festival in October. Um, we have our Frida Fest, the Women's Empowerment Festival. We've had our Diwali Festival with the Indian community, the Day of the Dead Festival, our International Festival of Books and Arts, where we involve the Chinese community, the Korean community, the Islamic community, all those kinds of cultural integrations.
That is so fantastic. And the work that you all have done, it's mostly in and around like the city center,
Right. Yeah. Our,
right?
our, our downtown
Hmm.
region.
The downtown area. Yeah, no, it's such a beautiful little area. That the space has really been maximized, I think, with those
Right.
festivals that you guys put on, and then with the food trucks and the
Yeah.
stages, man,
Yeah.
it is the place to be. Thank you so
Thank
much for
you.
being with us, Magdiel. It's fabulous to see you. And thank you for joining us on Talk the Talk. Our goal is to showcase local talent, local opportunities. And I know that that is highly aligned with what you do with
Right.
our fabulous city. And I know that I've met you a few times,
Mhm.
and you are royalty and fabulous and amazing, Mr. Castle. Perfectly fitting name. So,
Yeah.
my name is Jennifer. I'm Jennifer Olmeda, and my husband's really dedicated. My husband and I both are really dedicated to making sure that everybody is able to see the beauty of the Rio Grande Valley and the immense level of talent that we have in this area. And we're so happy to have you. Thank
Well,
you.
thank you for having me.
Thank you so much. Thank you for joining us. So I saw, all right. We had another guest a little while ago, and I was telling them I am a horrible, horrible, guilty pleasure. I'm a Googler. I'm a big
Uh,
Googler. So we'll be watching a movie or something, and I'm like, ooh, who's this actor? What did they do? What are their other choices? So that's kind of the type of person that I am. So I was doing a little Googling.
Googling, yes.
Yes. And so I noticed you are a Valley native.
Yeah,
You're from Mercedes, right?
from Mercedes.
Wonderful, wonderful. And what brought you to the lovely city of Edinburgh?
The university. I was going to university here, and the drive was just too much. And then I started working at the museum at the IMS, and so that was then two things that kept me going, coming up here to the Upper Valley. And so I just made the choice to just move. And at the time, what I found was in Edinburgh, so then I just stayed in Edinburgh, and then I moved. I got a job here with the city, and so there was like, well, I'm already living in the city of Edinburgh, and I'm working for the city of Edinburgh, and this is just where I started putting the roots down.
Oh, that's awesome. And you've been working with the city for a while, and
Right.
you have done so much, really. It's just blossomed. The things that you all have done to showcase the city and really to showcase the opportunities that we have here. It's amazing and it's really beautiful. I'm so thankful for the work that you all have done, and to be able to see all of that, because that's something that we older generation of the valley didn't necessarily have when we were growing up here. And so it's really amazing to see that work that you've done. So thank you so much for that. Um, I know that you are very involved with, you did mention IMAS. So, in terms of the cultural aspect of the workings of the city, can you talk to us about a little bit about that?
Yeah, I started working here in 2014 as the art events coordinator. At the time, I guess I'm guilty of admitting that I didn't know what I was getting myself into. I had the experience, but I thought, well, it's inside the library, so it's gonna be a little bit more calm down, and it wasn't. It was just festivals, things like that, and I just embraced it. I actually liked it, and I'm still here, doing the best I can and pushing for diversity, inclusion, and equity.
Oh, I saw that. I saw that that was your tagline
Right,
on your social media, and I love it. I love it so much. The valley is so unique and it's blossoming. And specifically in Edinburgh, there tends to be a lot more diversity. So, with the film festival, I love the fact that you, speaking of the film festival, you are the person that is the manager of that particular
right,
event, correct?
right. So I oversee the operations of the festival, logistics, planning, guest services, things like that. We have our festival director who oversees all of our festivals. Really, she's the director of library and cultural arts, and I oversee. She oversees the vision, and I oversee the making it happen.
Hey, you've got to have both parts.
Right.
Got to have both parts. And you both work so well together. It
Yes.
seems like it really is a beautiful relationship to be able to make everything come to fruition because, if you have the working parts, that's great, but you've got to have the vision. And likewise, if you have the vision, you've got to have the ability to have those working parts put that into effect. So it's really amazing. And I unfortunately have not been able to go to the International Film Festival. I've been on mommy duty with our boys, but my husband has gone. And the pictures that I see, it is amazing. It's
Yeah.
wonderful. You guys put on like a full-fledged red carpet
Right.
event. Please tell us about that.
Um, we were approached by the Mexican consulate back in 2015 to have a Mexican night of cinema. And we're like, sure, sure, And then we thought, well, if we're gonna show movies, why don't we make it like a mini film festival? No idea what a film festival was. And so we're like, okay, I guess we're just gonna show movies every however many days or weeks from this into that time, etc. We started doing research and we're like, oh, why don't we do a film festival, right? And then we're like, oh, okay, yeah, let's do a film festival. And then we're like, well, if we're gonna do a film festival, why don't we do an international film festival? Like if it's nothing, right? And so
Hey, the way you guys put it on, it's like it's effortless. It's
so
beautiful.
we're like, okay, sure. And we're like, well, what are we gonna do at the end of the film festival? Well, what do they do for the movies, right? They do the Oscars. So we'll do an Oscar style gala event for the winners and the red carpet and everything. And so the Oscars have been our inspiration for emulating what we do here. So yeah, we have a red carpet. We have our celebrity speakers. We have the whole paparazzi experience, and so that's what we do. And right now, we're actually in the middle of the film festival. Not necessarily in the middle. The festival is a year-long process. So right now, our selection committee is reviewing the submissions. Our last day for submissions is June 26th. So I believe that's next week or something like that. And we're doing a last push with advertising to get as many films in there. And then we'll announce July 8th, I believe, who are the official selections. And then we move on to pass on those films to the industry judges. These could be people like for example, in the past, we've had Jenna Sunday who worked on the film The Avatar with some editing and things. And it could be um, actors, it could be people who are in other film festivals. So we're also in the process of selecting the industry judges. and they'll have until about middle or late August to review them, and they'll meet to start doing their final selections. They'll give us their nominees, right? And so on the award ceremony, we'll do the nominees are, and
Ah.
those are the ones. And then later, they'll give us the final winners. And usually it's like a day, maybe 2 days at the most, that they give us the final um, the final selections of who is the winner from the nominees. And when they give it to us, we have to um, send those off to the awards place, and they'll etch the names and everything on the trophies and the plaques. And not everybody on the team knows who those winners are, because they send them to me, and then I send them to get made. And so we'll have staff there, and we'll have committee members who don't know who the winners are, even the day of. And
Oh my
so
gosh.
and so everybody's kind of like, oh yay, or oh, it's
And it's so funny. You're telling me this, and I'm envisioning you like walking with your briefcase that has like all of the treasured
secrets.
information,
Yeah.
very, very cloak and dagger. And it's like, no, I'm the only one. I know. I mean, this is
Yeah.
what I see. This is all playing in my head. I see it. I see it happening. You
Yeah.
are the keeper of the winners. You're the keeper of the
I
awards.
mean,
Man,
there's
that
a
is
couple other people
beautiful.
that know, but yeah, most of the people involved don't know the final winners until like the day of, during the ceremony.
Wow, that's amazing. That's amazing. And it's really beautifully done, the things that you all have done. And you mentioned that you have celebrity panelists and celebrity guests that
Right.
come in. Who are people that have come in?
So we've had, let me see, of course, Valente is our padrino. This year is different because we're having two film festivals in this
Oh.
2022. We had one in January
Hmm.
or February, and then we're having one in September because of the pandemic, and everything seems like it's going to be in person. Um, and so we're just hoping um, to have good luck with that.
Oh, I'm positive you will. I'm positive you will. You guys put on magnificent events, regardless as to whether it's virtual or in person. I know my family has gone quite often, and it's one of the highlights of our weekends, of our summers, is really just going and exploring. And I love experiencing different cultures and experiencing different foods and different watching different dances and listening to different music. And so that's been something that I've been very blessed to be able to take our sons to, so that they can experience all of that, and they can see, as you mentioned, the diversity of our area, because there really is a lot more diversity than I think we give ourselves credit for. Um, and so I think that's beautiful. And in terms of the film festival, you guys have done such a wonderful job. And I know that there's a lot of local talent, and there's a
Right.
lot of people that are very interested in the film industry. And realistically speaking, we have such a large population here. We have a beautiful, big pool of talent, and it's amazing that we're able to showcase those artists and these people without them having to leave and go to Austin
Right.
or go to
Yeah.
Los Angeles or something. I mean, realistically speaking, the valley itself is a major metropolitan area when you look at it by the numbers. We've got over 2
Right.
million people in
We're
this
an
in this
equal
region.
size to San Antonio when you take the whole entire valley.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I think that we have an interesting mix of kind of an agricultural aspect to us, and we have a lot of people that tend to stay in the area. So we have this feeling of a small town, but
Mhm.
when you look at it objectively, it's not a small town. It's
Right.
it's a large, booming area that's teeming with growth and culture and opportunity. It's just that unfortunately sometimes we don't necessarily see all of that.
Right.
And it's right in front of us. And so thank you so much for showcasing that. So do you guys have, you did mention that you have people from Brazil, from Portugal, obviously from Mexico, from France, from all of these different areas in the world. Are they in a separate category when they submit their films, or how does
Yeah,
that work?
we have the international, the national, the Texas, and our regional categories. So anybody who films um, outside of the US
Mhm.
automatically will submit as international. Anybody who films in the US has the option to compete in the international category. We've had some people who compete in the international category, and same with, for example, the Texas category. Anybody who films in Texas, like the RGV or North Texas, whatever, they can automatically submit in the Texas category, but they can also submit into the US category because they're obviously in the US.
Mhm.
Um, but they can choose to have like a type of like Hecho en Texas type of thing,
Mhm.
um, or anybody in the RGV can choose to enter into the Texas category, or they can compete into the local category. It's just a matter of where they like to compete, but you can only compete in one category. So you can't
Oh, okay.
be an RGV
That was my next
filmmaker.
question.
Yeah, you
Was
can't be
can
an
you
RGV
do
filmmaker and
multiple?
compete in both, right?
Okay.
And you can't be a Texas filmmaker and compete in Texas and US.
Okay. Okay. Well, that's neat though. I think that's really cool. You get to essentially see the scale of your competition.
Right.
So,
Sometimes there's not a lot in Texas categories, and so some Texas filmmakers decide they want to stay in Texas because
mhm,
now they would have to compete with everybody in the US, right?
mhm.
So uh, it's
And
up
so
to
what types of awards? I'm so sorry. Go ahead.
the types of awards. We have the Eddie Award, and then we have our Crystal Awards. Our top film features go to they get the Eddie Award. The Eddie Award is a bronze sculpture. Um, I originally designed the first Eddie Award, and then that's the one that was um, has been used since the inception. I'm a sculptor by trade. My emphasis is in bronze, it's monumental sculpture, and so this is just a small piece. And so we've been making them out of bronze ever since.
Wow.
Now we just send them off to somebody else to do them.
Hey,
But
but you're the originator of the design. That is fabulous. Look at
the very
you.
first two sets, the very first 2 years, I did them myself.
Wow.
And then after 15 and 16. So if anybody who has won an Eddie Award and in 15 or 16, I made those. Um, and anybody after that, they've been getting sent off to foundries to be made. We just don't have the facilities. So
So 15 and 16, those are the collector's editions.
right,
Those are the special Magdiel originals.
right.
I love it. That is awesome.
Yeah.
And so Eddie Awards, I love that you told us the name of it. Is that like an acronym for something or short for
For
something?
Edinburg, kind of like the Oscars, they have the name
Mhm.
Oscars, which is the Eddies. And so these are the Eddie Awards, and the what do you call it? The award ceremony is called the Eddies.
Oh, neat. Is there like a sculpture?
Well, the Eddie Award
The
itself.
big Eddie Award? Kind of
Well,
like a
we
like
don't have a
the
huge one. We're thinking of getting one made as a display exhibit,
yeah.
and maybe we'll do it this year.
That sounds exciting. That is amazing. That would be so cool because I know you guys already do the background with Edinburgh and the South Texas International Film Festival with the Eddie Award right there. That is
Yeah,
photo op extraordinaire.
Japan Station.
Yeah, that is amazing. That is so cool. So
Yeah.
it's best let's see. So is it like best film and then do you have like acting awards or what
Yes,
other types of categories do they have?
we have for example, the best featured film,
Hmm.
the best featured international film, and the best featured national film, the best featured Texas film. We don't have an RGV category.
Hmm.
Uh, those for the feature length films, those go into the Texas category. For the RGV, we have the short category, and then we have the best short films in each category, and then we have the best, and then within those categories, there's the best animation, the best documentary, the best actor, the best actress, best director. Um, I think those are in every year we have different awards. They've been growing the number of awards. I think this year we have 15 different awards. Plus now we're doing the 48-hour film race. So that
Oh,
adds
neat.
that adds more. The 48-hour film race takes place the week before the film festival starts. So if the award ceremony is, let's say, next Saturday, then this Friday is when we do the kickoff for the 48-hour film race. And then that has its own awards like best use of prop, best use of storyline, or best actor, um, best 48-hour film. Uh,
Hmm.
yeah,
How neat. That's wow. That's just so wonderful. That's such an amazing opportunity for artists here,
right.
to really collaborate and show off their work. And man, that takes a lot of skill to be able to execute an entire film in 48 hours, regardless as to the time, the
Yeah.
length of the film too. So that's beautiful. I love it. That's exciting. And I have another question. So in terms of, you mentioned feature length and then short. So what constitutes a short? Like what's the
A
time
short
limit?
is anything between 3 minutes and 30 minutes.
Okay.
And the feature is anything over 60 minutes.
Oh, okay. Okay. So they're gonna have to they can't do like a 45-minute film.
No, yeah.
Okay. All
Uh,
right.
some films are like 38 minutes, and the programming wise, we can't schedule them because it's 30-minute blocks for the times of screenings, and it's hour and a half blocks for features. So sometimes we schedule like a feature that's an hour and several 30-minute, several short films that equal to 30 minutes. So that just kind of helps keep
Oh
everything
yeah.
organized.
No, that makes sense. That totally makes sense. And then I know in addition to the screenings, you guys offer training for artists as
Yes,
well, correct?
yes, correct. We've had lighting workshops, script writing workshops. One of our big programs that everybody kind of gets excited about is the pitch like a Shark Tank, where you come and pitch your
Mm.
story, and it's based on the art of pitching, not necessarily on the story. So, um, I mean, Sharknado, you know, they did a pretty good pitch. That must have been
That
a
was a
really
heck of a pitch. I am positive.
well. Somebody bought into it, and somebody bought it, right? And so that's what the pitch is about.
And
Oh no,
it's
we
so
talked
funny
about
that you mentioned Sharknado. Uh, so like I'm the compulsive Googler. My husband is the one that will go into like the bottomless depths of Amazon Prime.
huh?
And so I don't know if you've ever gone down that rabbit hole.
No.
It's crazy. There was a film that he found, and it was like The Couch That Ate Me or something. And I was like, somebody invested in this. Wow. And it's like this old couch. And he was just like, I've got to see this. This is so interesting. I mean, there's got to be something about it because somebody invested in it and like they took the time and everything. And I was like, this is unique. This is, and that's a skill. That's a heck of a skill to be able to
Yeah.
pitch.
Is yeah. And it's not sometimes it's not just the pitch, but it's also identifying what people want. You know,
Mhm.
people loved Sharknado. That's what they wanted.
That's amazing. So there's the pitching and lighting you mentioned. What other types of
Lighting, and
workshops?
we have a makeup workshop, a special effects workshop. This year we're doing a intellectual property workshop
Mm.
for filmmakers because everybody puts their work out into film festivals, and um, sometimes they just send them to film festivals or people who they're just trying to sell it to, or trying to put their work out there, and sometimes it gets lost, and
Yeah.
some film festivals are not that reputable, or they're maybe just starting, and somebody's like, well, that's a great idea, let me run with it, right? And so this workshop will help you protect your work, so if somebody does try to run with it, then you can protect it and make sure that you get what's owed to you.
That is awesome. That's so good. There are so many stories that I've heard of where people kind of end up having, unfortunately, they end up in that situation
Right.
where their intellectual property is no longer theirs for some reason. And so that's another incredibly valuable skill
Mhm.
that is so beneficial for artists and especially local artists too, to try and figure
Yeah.
out, to navigate that big world of film that,
Mhm.
that we see and we kind of see from the outside. And it's like you have your ideas of what people do, and it's so different once you get into it. So that's such an amazing opportunity that you've given the people of the Rio Grande Valley, um, the king of arts, the king of our artistic growth, Magdiel. I think that's what we need to call you. I think that's what we need to do for sure. But I want to thank you so much for being with us. So, a couple of quick things. So, I want to do kind of like a rapid fire 3 things. Okay. 3 sets of 3 things. So, first, 3 favorite foods. Tell us 3 favorite foods. Go. What do you got?
Chinese, Indian, and Mexican.
Ooh, nice choices. All right. So, we got 3 foods. What about the 3 best things about living in the RGV?
Uh, the mild winter, the beach, and I love the sunsets.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Got to concur. Totally.
Mhm.
And my last set of 3, my last rapid 3, the 3 best pieces of advice you'd be willing to give our viewers.
Advice and like
Just advice on
any
whatever you want.
advice. Um, I don't know. I always tell people, just because you're not getting wet doesn't mean nobody's out in the rain. Um, este, I don't know. I don't know about advice. um, just take it and run. If there's an opportunity, just go for it. And then
Mhm.
my last advice would be, um, just experience everything that you can experience, when you can.
That's awesome. That is awesome. That is fabulous. Well, thank you so much for being with us. It's an honor to have been able to speak with you and to have been able to learn about all of the amazing things that you've done for not only our city, but for our area and for artists all over, on behalf of
Mhm.
artists all over, especially from here and internationally. I want
Yeah.
to thank you. Thank you for all that you've done.
Thank you for allowing me the platform.
Of course. Thank you. Thank you
Mhm.
again. Um, have a wonderful day, and we
You
shall see
too.
you at Juneteenth.
Yes, we'll see you tomorrow.